Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today is February 28th, and we are excited to discuss community action intensive learning opportunities. As always, when we start our time together, we do a couple of things. Our first is our land acknowledgement. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world, those who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will, some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. I'm Lily Seals, and I'm located in Charleston, South Carolina, which is on the traditional lands of the Kuso people. And I pay my respects to elders, both past and present, for those who've stewarded this land throughout the generations. We also start our time together with the promise of community action. Community action changes people's lives, embodies the spirit of hope, improves communities, and makes America a better place to live. We care about the entire community, and we are dedicated to helping people help themselves and each other. Agenda today, of course, we will have our welcome, and we again are so excited that you are joining us today. Our introduction. So today you have myself. I'm Lily Seals, the Director of Practice Transformation with NCAP. You will hear from two of my colleagues, Tiffany Marley, who's the Senior Vice President of Practice Transformation, and Terry Bearden, who is the Project Director for Organizational Capacity, about two intensive learning opportunities that we will discuss more in depth later. And there are also additional or upcoming opportunities that we would love for you to be on the lookout for as well. So, intensive learning opportunities. We know that the work that we do in community action in service to individuals and families, that it is very complex. And we do our research and we have training and technical assistance, and we work through all of our service approaches to families, and we're continuously learning, right? Because complex challenges really do, you know, require us to think about solutions in new and innovative ways. So we have heard certainly from the network about some of the needs that exist, and we want to present training and technical assistance opportunities that are intensive, that are in depth, and that really provide and speak to those needs of the network. And the first of those opportunities is our National Leading Equity Cohort. And with that, I will hand off to my colleague, Tiffany Morley.
Thank you so much, Lily, and thank you all for your interest in learning more about the amazing intensive learning opportunities that NCAP has to offer for our network. Really, all of the offerings that we are bringing forth intend to enable you all to bring your best selves to our customers and communities that you serve on a daily basis. And so with that said, I am so excited to tell you all a little bit more about a new cohort that we are launching in this year, the National Leading Equity Cohort. And to just ground ourselves a little bit around the why of such a cohort, I thought it would be important to share with you all a couple of things about the connection between the community action legacy and its history, and this whole notion of what these days we are framing as equity. One thing that I would offer up to us as it relates to that is really from the very beginning, our network has had its boots on the ground in fighting poverty for low-income children and families and local communities since 1964, when the Economic Opportunity Act was ratified. The Economic Opportunity Act was a policy aimed to eliminate the paradox of poverty in the midst of plenty in this nation by opening to everyone, and I want to emphasize that word everyone, the opportunity for education and training, the opportunity to work, and the opportunity to live in decency and dignity. And ultimately, if you were to look closer at this policy, and we'll spend some time as a part of this cohort talking about this as well, there are several mentions or several instances where this notion of everyone, every individual, is spelled out explicitly. And so it means that as we, as a network, as we seek to live into our collective mission, vision, and values as the Community Action Network, it is a part of our job descriptions, or it is a part of our mandate to ensure that the work that we do truly does touch everyone, not just some people, but everyone in this nation and in our communities. And so, with that said, the Leading Equity Cohort will really give us an opportunity to, like I said, delve more deeply into not only the why, but also give us an opportunity to really explore some tangible steps that individuals, organizations, and your coalitions might consider as it relates to efforts that you might take to help us to achieve the vision that we have asserted as a national network that we want to achieve. That vision being a nation that creates opportunities for all people, and I emphasize that word all people, to thrive, build strong, resilient communities, and ensures a more equitable society. And so then, giving a closer look at the specific description that we have put forth for the cohort, it will be intensive. The goal is for us to really be nourished by the power of a peer-to-peer learning community. So one in which we're able to listen to one another's stories and experiences and best practices, and really allow those to inform our basic learning as it relates to equity, belonging, diversity, and justice, and really be able to apply some evidence-based, evidence-informed practices that really inform, as I mentioned before, how we show up individually and our organizational practices, in hopes of instilling dignity, cultivating belonging, building power in our everyday practice as community action agencies. And I'm emphasizing that our focus on centering equity, belonging, and even this notion of justice is a part of our job descriptions as community action leaders. I love this quote by Brian Stevenson from the Equal Justice Initiative. He says, the opposite of poverty is not wealth. I'm sorry, the opposite of poverty is not wealth. The opposite of poverty is justice. And so, in essence, as we think about the ways in which poverty has come to be within our historical context as Americans, it is clear that there's no way to talk about how it came to be and therefore how to solve the problem of it without thinking about this whole notion of the ways in which inequities have been at work in our society, and particularly the ways in which racism, particularly systematic, structural, institutional racism, have been at play to perpetuate the inequities, the inequalities, and the disparities, and really look at tangible solutions that we might engage in as a movement, as a network, to again enable us to move forward towards ensuring access to opportunity for everyone. And so as we look at the next slide, the objectives are as follow: to increase concepts of diversity, or increase understanding or knowledge of concepts of diversity, equity, and belonging and justice, which we have shortened that to be DEBJ, and to really give participants an opportunity to understand why we even utilize those terms in particular. And when we're talking about this whole focus on equity more broadly, and to deepen understanding of DEBJ's importance for advancing the community action agency or community action network mission and vision. And then for us to really be intentional about strengthening connections with each other as members of the cohort, to really, as I would say, sort of create the oil, or just the fluid needed for us to be able to show up in the work in an authentic and a meaningful way as community action leaders. Additionally, an objective will be to engage in practical steps for applying the things that we will be learning as a part of the cohort. And I'm very excited about this piece, and that is to foster some time and space for participants to develop some short-term action plans to support individual professional development, as well as action steps related to organizational transformation. And a part of the time will also lend itself to a bit of one-on-one guidance and support. And so, with that said, looking at our next slide, this cohort will be intensive. We're looking at an 8-week period where we will offer 4 2-hour sessions. We would love to kick this off March the 19th. So apply. Hopefully you will sign up in agency teams. We strongly encourage agency teams to apply, because it allows for, I would say, traction for individuals who are engaging in the learning experience, but especially as we turn our gaze towards the organizational opportunities that exist. As we think about this work, it really allows for some meaningful connection to happen there. And so we encourage agency teams of 3 or more to participate. However, individual registrations are welcomed. And here's something that is very important: we don't require that anybody comes to the cohort as an expert, because none of us will ever be experts. There's something that we all can learn and stand to learn on this journey towards equity, belonging, and justice. And so really, the requirement is your willingness and your intention to do this work, and to do this work in a meaningful way. This is considered to be one of the National Community Action Partnership's fee-for-service offerings for the network. So there is a cost associated with us being able to engage in this learning together. And so if you are a member of the National Community Action Partnership, we're pleased to offer you an individual rate of $995 per participant, and we offer a non-member rate of $1,295 per participant. And so we hope that you will join us. Participating in this cohort promises to be transformative for you as an individual, hopefully for you as an organization, and more importantly, for our network, for our movement, so that again, we are able to bring our best selves to everyone that we serve in our communities in fulfillment of our important mission, vision, and values as a network. So thank you. If you have any questions related to anything that I have shared today, my information will be shared at the conclusion of today's webinar, but I will also tell you that my email address is tmarley@communityactionpartnership.com. Please, please, please join the National Leading Equity Cohort. The QR code for registering is also available on this slide. You can just use your phone to take a picture of the QR code. Our team will also be sharing the registration information in the chat as well as in our follow-up correspondence. So thank you again. And I am excited to hand off to my wonderful colleague, Lily Seals. Thank you, Lily.
Thank you, Tiffany. And we will now hear about our strategic planning accelerator. So I will hand off to my colleague, Terry.
Hi, everyone. I'm Terry Bearden. I am the project director for organizational capacity building, and I'm excited to share some information about a strategic planning accelerator, which is going to be a fairly unique cohort, also an intensive learning experience that we're starting to promote here at the partnership. And it's to help agencies facilitate their strategic planning processes so that you can develop adaptable and impactful strategic plans to assist your agency in fulfilling its mission. So what we're hoping to do, or what we're planning to do, is we're going to have regular cohort-based virtual learning sessions. We're going to provide you with many high-quality, tailored tools and resources that you can utilize within your organizations to create your strategic plans or to update your existing strategic plans. And we're going to offer technical assistance to individual agencies from the organizational capacity building team here at the partnership. So who should enroll? Who should engage? Ideally, we're looking for agencies who are seeking to develop a new strategic plan within the next 9 to 15 months. We feel like you will experience the most impactful learning possible if that's what is on your horizon. We're going to convene 4 times virtually for an hour and a half, and then once in person at the NCAP annual convention in Seattle in August. That attendance to the in-person session is not required, though we certainly hope that everyone will join us in Seattle for the celebration of Community Action's 60th anniversary. And then you should also prepare, if your agency enrolls, you should also expect to attend and do some preparatory work for at least 2 virtual technical assistance meetings that will be tailored for your agency and what your experience has been and kind of where you are in terms of your strategic planning process. So overall, again, we're planning for these to be intensive learning opportunities. So you can expect to commit about 25 hours to this project between April and October. We do plan to kick off in April. Registration is not quite open yet. We plan to open that this Friday through Member Suite. And so look for that information to be posted. We will also share it in the NCAP e-newsletter. So hopefully you all receive the e-newsletter. We are hoping that agencies will enroll teams, so anywhere from at least 2 up to 5 team members is what we are seeking for this engagement. And with that, I'm going to move into some upcoming opportunities, and I will start off with some organizational capacity building and membership opportunities. And then I'll hand back over to Lily for her to bring us up to date on the practice transformation efforts. So from the organizational capacity side, look for information to be shared regarding in-depth organizational standards training. We are in the process of planning another executive director and board chair symposium that will be coming up later this year. We're going to have 2 new executive director or CEO institutes this year as well. And so just keep your eyes open for additional information as those plans and dates and sites come together. And with that, I will thank you for your time and turn things back over to Lily.
Thank you, Terry. So 2 more very exciting opportunities that are coming up are our Emerging Leaders Cohort. So if you are an emerging leader in community action, or you know of emerging leaders within your agency, or one of your sister agencies in a neighboring county, please make sure you spread the word. That cohort is coming. So we would love to have peer connections as we learn and grow about all of those things that makes community action in service to our communities and customers. We also have a deep dive. So if you are interested in learning more about policy, we are going to have a webinar series on policy areas that really impact community action. So please stay tuned. Check certainly if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to NCAP's e-news on our website, communityactionpartnership.com. So you can stay abreast to all of this information. And we'll certainly also do a follow-up to this webinar for those who have attended and those who have registered. So if you are interested in any of these, or if these sound like, I know someone in my organization, or one of my friends with another community action agency or within the network, I'll say, who are interested, please make sure that you spread the word and stay attuned to the e-news and social media. Other resources that we have, so Community Action Academy. If you have not, we do have a new home for our online learning hub. So this is the information here. We strongly encourage you all to join that. That is where our on-demand e-courses live. So there are video resources. So video resources, we have e-courses, and just a variety of information that will live, does live and will continue to live in Community Action Academy. And we have Fresh Find. So when we talk about, the latest resources, webinars, funding opportunities for those who are engaging in anti-poverty efforts, please make sure you connect into Fresh Finds. And as Tiffany stated, and we want to make sure that if you have any questions, please connect in with Tiffany Marley. Her email address is here. Tamiris Hollywood is also a support for that cohort. And then for the Strategic Planning Accelerator, Maribeth Schneeber-Remrev and Terry Bearden, please make sure that you screenshot, and we can certainly, again, we'll send this information out to those who have registered and are have attended the webinar as well. And just want to say thank you again for joining us. We appreciate you joining us today. So thank you, and checking to see if we have any questions or comments. I'm not seeing any. So with that, just wanting to say thank you for joining us. Please spread the word. Please sign up. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact. Thank you. Bye, everybody.